Microphone check, microphone check, microphone check, microphone check, microphone check, microphone check. All right, more up in here. Let's go. Chicka-ching, chicka-choo-choo. Oh, no. I was like, what are we going to do with that line? I guess it goes here now, doesn't it? Just going to do a little maintenance on the Bitcoin chart and then go around and see what all's what. Where can I move you to? I need to move you down. I need to move you down. Yeah, you get on. Let's move you though. You don't belong there. Let's just delete you. You're dumb and old. Yeah, let's kick those down the line. Oh, the market is open. That's about what I thought. We have basically like two pieces of demand left between our weak high and our strong low. But no, that one's already been tagged. That makes it easier. So VWAP any good here? So bad about VWAPs. VWAP's probably pretty good here. I think that gives us reason to focus on the local low too. It's gonna run there. Slap one down here. And I still have one on that. Cool Dumbs Bitcoin. Joking. Almost though. Let's get another one here. Hey Joe Fizz. Morning Jason and Joe Fizz and Josh Parr. Josh Parr says, can you list the top perpetuals to trade that have the most liquidity and also which broker would be the best for these assets? I don't stress about brokers too much, man. If you're just talking about like perpetuals like in the crypto markets, it can change by the day, right? Like, you know, one day you might have a whole bunch of volume entering on one asset, and then it performs its intended move in one direction or another, right? And then what you'll typically find is the market is going to impulse one way or the other, and then it is going to range. So during the impulse, you might have a lot of market participation from, you know, AKA liquidity, right? But then during the ranging portion, less so. You know what I mean? That's when the market maker has to let retail build their liquidity into that range so they can pull either side of it. So I don't have an answer where that sounds like, oh, these top 5 coins. Now, we all know that like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana have extremely high trading volume, right? But outside of that, like I like to, I don't know, you can always build a watch list and sort it by volume traded. Now you have to keep in mind that how these volumes are measured, right? Like, Bitcoin is showing as the lowest volume traded, and that's because it's measured in its asset class, right? So that's 41 Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, 41,000 Bitcoin, right? Whereas something like this down here, 350 billion bonk. But another good way is just to go to your exchange and sort it by volume traded on your exchange, and just look for look for areas where the market is participating. That's my best answer for you. Yeah, and I would say that really applies to any asset in general. Now, I've only ever placed perpetual trades on Femex, right? That's all I've ever done. So they just recently introduced traditional finance as an option to trade, and so far the exchange is doing a pretty piss poor job of it. I've tried to trade NQ like 14 times, and every time it tells me some bullshit about open interest being too high or some bullshit like that. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having it on the exchange? So that's the best I can do for you there. Top of the morning, Ash Hunts. All right, I want to go check on some. Stuff while we're waiting on. Orb is still got a couple minutes left. Blah blah blah. Let's go look at some things. Let's go look at some things. All right. Very, very, very high probability that this entire range gets rotated on SUI. I think the possibility of a break below this low before tackling both of these highs is very, very limited, as indicated by the internal liquidity sweep here and another internal liquidity sweep here. I would say that high is weaker than Circus Lemonade. Problem is, there's not really places of demand that I utterly love. So I think this is going to be one similar to Bitcoin, where we're just going to have to put some alerts on it. I mean, you may have different ingenious ways of finding this trade. I don't. I'm a boring bitch. I just box it in here and set some alerts. Let's get one on the low. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to blow out a bunch of alerts. Alerts. Let's kill this to maybe this. And I was on SUI. I'm not picking this for any particular reason. I just happen to have a tab open on it. So, most interesting thing that could happen for me would be there's that little pencil tool. Probably an interaction with here. Let's mitigate this, get it off the table. Let's flow back down to this low, and let's look for some structure basically pulling that low. I think that is the first logical thing that I would be looking for. So I've got an alert down here because that's where I want it. I'm moving on. Whatever became of Swarm? Curious. Cool. Let's clean this up. I don't know if I'm not particularly feeling this one for another trade myself, but let's clean the chart up. It's a nice target too. It's right off the target 2 is the shelf of supply right here. There's a nice target 2. So I am stocked out on this. We're re-interacting with demand, but this is a really, really finicky asset. The only reason I recommended a trade on this yesterday was due to the massive amount of volume that I saw step in. Let's get to that. Right, so you know, if you can see something like another, 13 million of these things hit the market, which they did before the low was actually in, right? Before the actual low was in, so that was actually easier than it would ever typically be on this asset. So I will. I guess I'll take an alert here, but I'm not overly excited about this. I'm gonna save my give me alert on this low here. Let's move on from that. Dash. Let's see what happened over here. So Dash it did end up running quite a bit further. I'm not in this trade anymore. Shame, but I'm not. And we have approached the next. I mean, dude, I've kind of been hitting on this thing, man. I mean, we had essentially what we had was a trade-off of this demand back up to the high, which we had a pre-planned position there for. We planned another position back on the low, and then I saw some market structure developing in this area yesterday. And now we're up to this other sort of position, right? So it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th idea, and I haven't been wrong yet. Obviously it doesn't always work that way, but let's just clean this whole chart up here and investigate, shall we? Let me get up to a higher time frame here. We had a pretty strong low down here. Okay, cool. I think that's about the only new piece of information I need. Let's go ahead and say demand exists here because it does. And let's drop to the 2. What alert is that? I'm not ready for alerts. Stop. I don't feel like trading yet. Don't do this to me. Where were we? Dash. Okay. Dash. Let's move this down the line. We gotta worry about that later. Oh, did I kill? I deleted the short position, which was this idea here. You get on down with your bad self. Get on down. All right, now. Kind of like it better for a long, not right now, but I'm gonna say you get this piece of demand that's sitting right above the range high. That makes the most. Here's what I like about it. You have a range up top. And you have demand we've demand underneath our low. Bingo, bingo, bongo. So that my OCD just kicked in, belongs there. Did these highs touch? It's important information to me. It's always important information. No, they did not. That actually improves the probability of a position out of here working. Let's kick this. You know what we're gonna do? We're not gonna kick it down. We're gonna put it right over here, bro. Let's leave that there, and then let's plan find something out of here to take us back up to our weak high. And let's be aware that we have some internal liquidity right here that could be run. So we'll take an alert here. That's the only alert that I'm going to use on Dash. And yeah, essentially what I'm looking for here is just, okay, okay, sure. But really what I want is I want to pull this low here, and I want to interact with demand, and I want everybody to think that this thing is breaking structure. After a double, that's not a true double top, but after what might appear to the amateur as a double top in the supply, I want to see if they can draw in sellers here to absorb them and run their faces back up to the clouds. It's an idea there. Swarm we talked about, we'll chill on. Let's go check on ENJ. I also need to check on Knight. ENJ. Talk to me, ENJ. What are we doing here, buddy? Oh, well, it hit the target for that trade. Okay, cool. The idea of the break here was to run it to here. Okay, check. I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to investigate this range here. You can see basic information like high, low, high, low, high, low, high SFP. So the SFP brought you to the low that created the high, which is this one, and it broke that, taking to you what would be more considered your protected low, and then off the protected low we are changing structure. So I think this looks a little ripe for a long right here, right now. That's what I think. Oh, sweet, it didn't kick me out. Go figure. Yeah, I'm just going to add a little piece there. I had an idea on hype that I'm curious about. Let's take a look at dominance, too. Okay, alright, dominance. Talk to me, buddy. Talk to me. Much prefer, what was that alert? Log. I have an ACH alert? What are we doing with ACH alerts? What are we doing with these? Okay. Since the alert went off, I'll just talk about this really quick. This is essentially what I would be looking for here. I'd like one little purge below, and then I'd like to see a return to break this. And then I'd look to run this direction up to your weak high. Okay, cool. But I was actually heading to hype. Really what I wanted was hype. Bastard, you bastard. You took the internal low. We're SFPing the high. That actually leaves this on the table still. Actually leaves that on the table still. So for hype, we've got failure on the high, indicating, implying weakness upon the low that created the high. So we have, we've got some options on the table here. Let me get get you up where you belong, and let's get you from a dashed line to a regular line. Here it is. So there, I think there's still room here for a range deviation trade clear down into demand. Sure enough. Cool. So the most interesting places to fill long, in my opinion, on height are option numero. Let's slide you down, homie. Let's get you out. Let's get you out of here. Option number 1, number 2, number 3. Obviously looking for some manner of structure on any of those. Let's go. I'm actually in the hype trade right now, but I would like to add, because we have not hit what I'm looking for yet. So there's that one. Fuck else. Oh, we're going to talk about night. We definitely have to talk about night. And then I apologize. I will be back over to the chat in a minute to see what all you crazy kids are looking for. Well, less than ideal. Less than ideal. I was hoping for an initiation here. I wanted to see an initiation here. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's check 15 on this. Okay, so overall not hateful. I need to move this to here. I need to recognize a couple of things here. I need to recognize that as we approach this low, we trapped sellers here and expanded it upon their face. That ultimately brought us up to the swing high, and our structure from the low to the high remains bullish with a from a range perspective, you've got some trouble in the water here because you couldn't clear this. But our structure from here to here remains in a bullish stance with a large impulse coming out of this area. So weak high, internally strong low. All right, so we know that all of this is demand, but we can see that that's been tagged. So it leaves me with a couple different options here. Search the bottom for our extreme point of demand. 90's not bad. 1 looks kind of hotter. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 90 because it's bigger. So we've got a piece of demand right here that warrants some interest, and then furthermore we've got a wee bit of a range that's developed internally here. Go away list. You're in my way, Holmes. You're in my way. Right here, we've got a range. So what we could look for is a purge below this low with a return to break this high. And that may very well rotate us clean up to there, which would be a very good risk reward if I'm not mistaken. Sure would. Cool. All right. Dominance. Did we really talk about dominance? I don't know if we did, but we should. All right. I need to clean this little area up here because I'm just looking at this range, right? I'm looking at this range right here. Went too far. So I need to investigate market structure between here and here and see what's what. I'm going to drop down to 15 and check it there. Yeah, so this right here, we're looking for a break here on tether dominance. And then I would be looking to rotate this range. Which would be bearish for Crypto, right? That would be bearish for crypto, but I need to be aware that this is a real possibility right here. I need to be aware of that. Now, obviously, if we invert this, right, bullish for crypto looks like this. Looks like a tap into demand and a run back to your weak high, maintaining all this positive structure. That's what bullish for crypto looks like. And bearish looks like that. Yeah, this would, yeah, let me go back to it. Let me invert this back the way that it belongs. Yeah, there's just a real possibility to rotate this entire range back up. No, I don't want you inverted, my man. I don't want you inverted. Okay, I'm off to the chat, guys. I'm off to the chat. Where are you guys at? What's up, peoples? What's up? Good morning, Ash Hunts and J Takaoka 01 and Luke Saldania. Oh, Dash not on Bit Unix, huh? That's bums. That's a bums. All right, let's go back and check in on the corn. All right, we got nothing to worry about here. Whoa, that's not a ray, bro. Get out of here with this jog shit. Okay, cool. All right, man. What do y'all got? What do y'all got? Oh, did we put attention? We needed to put more attention into ENJ. I apologize. We needed to put more attention into here. All right. This line is, well, it represents a break of structure, but it's not relevant. We don't need to put this on here anymore. I'm gonna delete this. I just want to recognize that we have a large expansion on the chart. Seems pretty big to me, man. 400%, it's pretty big. All right, now let's drop down on structure. Choppy chop buttercup. Why do I like this area? Why I like this area is if you go to the 15-minute, and we look here, this is our demand, right? This is our demand. How do we know it's our demand? We have removal of liquidity beneath us prior to breaking the low above us, prior to creating God candle, right? Like, I mean, that's a bold move, y'all. That's a bold move. Something in the neighborhood of 50%, right? Yeah. Very, very. So like, nobody can tell me otherwise. There was institutional involvement in this area. You just can't convince me otherwise. How the hell else do you increase price by 50%? Cool. Let's get our alert up here. Yeah, so let's see, what else do we have to chat about on this? So if you like kind of like, you know, like looking at primary market structure in this area, more or less flows like this, right? But this would be well within, this low here is well within deviation standards. Well, like just well within it. You know what I mean? Deviation gets you all the way down to holding that low still. Yeah, it is. You have some bearish structure that formed here, which created supply, which was already mitigated. So like you don't have to worry about this anymore. And then, yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of liquidity that's been built in this area, and it doesn't look like the kind of liquidity that creates moves like this. It just looks like, I don't know, like weaker hands. And so I'm looking for a significant low to be formed down here somehow, some way. It may be in. Honestly, it would look a bit more sexy if it came in again with another tap. This needs to go away. Get out of here. If it came in with another tap there and then returned to break this high, I mean, that would be pretty hot. That'd be pretty hot. So, there needs to be alerts down here. And there needs to be an alert there if there isn't one already. We could build the kind of low here that could take us up to this high. Because there's just very limited resistance left. Like, this piece of supply has been mitigated. This supply is mitigated. Bearish removal of liquidity there. Yeah, okay, cool. We broke down right here, and that supply has been mitigated. Broke down there, and that was mitigated. Get this line off my chart. It's in my way. Yeah, so we have very limited. There's just no. What I mean to tell you is there's very limited amount of resistance left in this whole climb down. Yeah, so all the way down to here, this zone down here, I'm looking for a significant low to form. Word. Alright, this is still your pending break at market structure here, so no worries. No worries on this. I'll chill over there. Let's talk about important lows. These strong lows here. These strong lows here are very important. Very important. This down here, but that's not going to save us by the time you break structure like this. That's just going to provide a lift for a lower high. So these are really important lows. Stupid important lows. Very, very important lows. Let's check on Sol. Okay, so all right, buddy. So this was the idea that we had yesterday, and that was the target, man. That was the target. Okay, so fairly bearish place to perform an SFP. Okay. Let me think about this. The first thing I need to recognize is that our low relative to our high, we have our low's worse than our high. Well, this low's better. Did this get mitigated? Yes. Alright. We don't need any of that stuff anymore. It's all dead. Let's check that 15, homies. I mean, this thing's gonna need some bullish structure in a heartbeat. So we'll need that bullish structure in a heartbeat, or we're just gonna have problems, man. It's gonna have problems. We are running out of fucking demand. I don't love this area. I mean, it's here. It has not been mitigated, but I'm not in love with this area yet. This area can cause some sort of a micro range to develop. Then I think we might have something to talk about here. But my gut tells me it does not hit this and come up here. I don't feel like that's the case. Is there a WAP that we're attacking? No, not weekly market structure, bro. WAP. What's up with WAPs? Okay, so we're tagging session WAP right now. I still want better structure here. I would rather see it. I'd rather see it reject off of this little 10-minute OB and attack its low again. Maybe even attack that low one more time, and then give me a break here. I need something that looks a little more juicy like that on Sol. Okay. Alright. What do we have up here? Man, Bitcoin's in a rough position here. It wants. I just instantly got the feeling that it wants lower, like something in these areas, and so I'm now entertaining the idea of this. In the event that we could see some retracement into here, see if we can climb that down to there. Okay, Dash has disrespected idea numero uno, heading towards idea numero deux. And it did print some supply on the chart, so we need to add this. Yeah, it's going to need to be. That's going to have to be a target in the event that we see any positive price action out of this. ENJ, huh? Maybe just close ENJ here. I don't like what's happening on Bitcoin, and it's double top here just kind of shit the bed on ENJ. Because you had your range, initiation, mitigation. This should equal continuation. So to fill this high is a strong implication that it will come back for this low. And the way that it did it makes me think that it will break that low and ultimately come down and hit some lower stuff. So I think, yeah, I think I'm just gonna walk away from this trade for now. And revisit quite likely under this low. Y'all are quiet this morning. What you guys got, man? Let's go see what Tesla's up to.
Get the fuck out of here.
Tesla finna rip. I've been saying it. It's beautiful. You tagged the resistance that you had on the chart. S&P'd your high end of resistance. Came right back to where it's supposed to come back to. And then looks to break structure now. Bye-bye. 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 Am I finally going to get to short Bitcoin's pants off? Our answer lies over here. Palantir. I had a short going on Palantir. Got stopped in profit. And then I think it ran away. Yeah, I recall shorting out of this. I recall taking profits here. I recall getting stopped out on this move. Didn't fill that gap, huh? Okay. It's not something that is in a place where it would be recommended for shorts at this point. At this point, we're looking for long out of here. Quite likely up to this high. And I think we need to be cognizant of running that low and completing a Model 1 reaccumulation. Um, those are the two. Those are absolutely the two things I would be looking for. Absolutely, those would be what I'm looking for. And quite frankly, you could probably target something like this too. Not to say you shouldn't have intermediate targets, but this is what I'd be looking for on Palantir. Pengu, oh yeah, I remember Alex being excited about Pengu yesterday. Look at that, that motherfucker was right, wasn't he? That motherfucker was right, wasn't he? Or, well, hold on, no, I don't remember. Where were we yesterday, actually? No, I think he was looking here. I don't fucking remember. It doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking makes no difference. Let's just do some goddamn TA on the thing. All right, there's our 4-hour strong low. And there's our 4-hour week high. I need you to recognize that it is interacting with significant supply. And so you basically, you've got to be prepared for this low to go again. And that 4-hour strong low contains an important answer to this question. Alright, so we tagged supply after a slight manipulation above this range. Broke deviation though. Anyways, we just formed new supply. So unless you can give me bullish structure, this is a short. I just target this demand right here. Target that demand. Target your strong low. I'd look to shave these. I'd look to T some P here, and all of that remains true unless we can develop bullish market structure between here and here. So let's drop down to our 5 and see what the possibilities are. 5 says we can indeed form bullish market structure here. So if this is going to form bullish market structure locally, no, we do still have resistance here. Okay, so I just be essentially what I'm saying is this: you could confirm 5-minute bullish market structure here, only to confirm 5-minute bearish market structure here, telling you that this is no longer what you should be paying attention to, and this is what you should now be paying attention to. So there's a couple of things there, but if this is forming bullish market structure, what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is just coming up to mitigate supply, and I'm gonna fucking short it. Alex O to the cryptos. What up, homie? What do you think? Alex, I want to short Bitcoin. I want to short Bitcoin. I want to short it, man. Good Lord. We went over a lot of trade setups already. Pengu. Yeah, we did Pengu. We did Palantir. It's a goat. It's a goat. This is a Shun. Hopefully it's not too loud. Hopefully it's not too loud. Bro, Alex, how come I can't get Dash wrong? How come I can't get Dash wrong, dude? You know, I deleted all the positions on here, but all the ones that are already triggered. Well, with the exception of this one, but hey, y'all, what's Dash doing here? I wish I could tell you I liked its candles right here. Okay, so let's get this out of the way because it's been run. Yeah, I mean, you can shift 30-second structure here as you go right back into supply. I'm not super excited about this. I fully respect the fact that I might be wrong here. And I fully respect the fact that this isn't a true double top because it's not. I get these things, but I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of a no for me right there. It's a decent flip on Delta. It's really not hateful. But it's too late anyway. At this point, you're waiting for mitigation. But you can do whatever the fuck you want to. But at this point, what I would prefer to see happen, this is what would make way more sense in my mind. If we can get on the getting a little bit more getting on the getting here, and confirm some demand down in this area. Talk to me, charts. Talk to me, right? What I would prefer is to see it interact with supply, have supply work, and take us back to demand and look for a transition back out of demand. In that case, we will have erased this resistance off of here. We will have already created a strong low and a weak high. And so I would just be looking to cover the actual low that forms in here, and the risk to reward could be better back to the high regardless. So take that for what you will. Now, you asshole, you're not supposed to mitigate demand first. Why don't you listen to me? Dash, buddy, I'm talking to you. I don't like the fact that it touched it first. I don't like the fact. I'm not saying it totally shits on the idea, but I'm saying that's not the way I prefer for it to happen. You still have a 5-minute OB resting inside of it. So yeah, whatever. I've been too busy yapping about charts to be focused on trades here. All right, now you speak it to me. Taka to me. J Takaoka to me. Thanks, Run the Mouth. Appreciate that. What's M4B34? Thanks, Ando Pancho. Appreciate you, buddy. 81270 lower orb. VWAP 81270. Or 81720. Did you say 720? You did say 720. We got the WAPI in there, bro. You got that session WAP in there. Got that session WAP in there. We got the orb in there. Oh yeah, we do, bro. Got that orb up in there. Pretty cheeky idea coming out of the orb right there. Pretty cheeky indeed. There's a tap. What does Alex want? A 3-minute in golf? Got him jingling, jingling. Why do I feel like Alex just hit the sell button? Glad you guys... dude, that swarm trade was kind of wild, man. I mean, if you look at that chart, we'll go back and look at it here in a second. It's a wild chart, man. That place, that chart looks like, trying to find something polite to say. We'll just look at it. We'll just objectively look at it and go, that's probably not something you want to trade all the time. We'll do it right now. I don't know, dude. This thing's wild. This thing's wild. Look at just the way that it wicks. It's a crazy chart, and these are big wicks, y'all. Like these wicks don't play. All right, like that's a 30% fucking wick right there. Like it's a crazy chart to trade. Again, I'm gonna run through this again yesterday. The only fucking reason to ever touch an asset like this is because, you know, if you see something like 14 million of these things get loaded into the, it just warrants attention. But that's a fucking wild chart, bro. I think it'd have been cooler to come into this last section with some decreasing volume. Suspicious. Suspicious, y'all. It's suspicious. All right, Dash. It's not too late for you to not embarrass me, okay? It's not too late, bud. You can still not embarrass me today, Dash. It's a shit high. It's a good low. I don't know what my deal was yesterday, man. My brain was fucking just on fire. All right, what else is interesting? Let's go out there and take a look at our Ton, you're up another 20% today? Sit down, bro. Sit down. Actually, I need to get that Bitcoin chart loaded back up. Hold, please. My ADHD fucking crushes me sometimes. Let's go over here. Shorted to the ground. It's kind of a bold statement. Would you lose 5-minute structure on a parabolic climb? A loss of 5-minute structure isn't all that impressive. But it did hit supply, so it gives me permission to start monitoring it, paying closer attention to it. Any old hoodalays? Run the mouth, you funny. ZEC. Dude, I feel like we called a sick ZEC long yesterday, but maybe I'm dreaming. No, the fucking asshole never tapped what we wanted it to. That's what happened. That's what the fuck happened. We got close, but no cigar. No cigar. All right. So what does this all mean for? What does this all mean for the Zex now?
Now, boys, don't get into any trouble while mommy and daddy are gone, and don't make a mess.
Go away, drawings. I'm done with you. Get out of my face. This is a pretty poor high. But, I mean, your low makes no sense at all. So, there's that. And so, here's what I want. I want to see weakness starting to develop as you approach the high. And I want to see it fail. I would also accept a bearish PO3 in this zone. So it gives us, huh? But, oh, this is logarithmic. Mucho better. It's a mucho better. I'll also look for some sort of manipulation range up here.
What all the bitches saying?
And, I mean, we could talk about some longs. We could talk about them. This is a very important piece of demand to hold. Super important. Why not? Let's leave the cherries in it. You know what I mean? Because it's an important piece of demand, y'all. It's an important piece. So much so that I would say if you bearishly lose it, that could be in for quite the tumble. We'll be aiming for this 15 after that. Actually, let's check it on the 15. Now, honestly, I don't even know if that'll do it. It's problems for another day. Here's what I think might be cool. We have failure on the low, right? So we have to recognize that that creates weakness upon the high, and that may very well be the order flow objective. To hit this high, break this high, and come back up to your inevitably weak high, right? We have to recognize that. But I think what could really be cool here is to just draw the buyers in right here, trap them, and come down here for the real long. So I think would be cooler. So essentially saying fill this high, break this low. Got a couple pieces of demand down here that warrant targets prior to hitting that low. For long, long is already in. Long was taking London's low here. That was the long. So I'll just see if we can find a short now, because now for a long, I have to see a couple of things. I have to see a couple of things for a long. I have to see this high broken. I need to see some manner of inefficiency between these 2 points on the chart. And then I need to see a retrace to newly created demand for a lift up to this high. And after this high, and only after this high is broken, can we start talking about targets like that. But breakout here, create demand in this area. Go ahead and take me over this high. Bring me back in for another run up. Those are kind of the only options available to me right now. I either have to watch for this short, or I have to see if we can initiate. Honestly, it's better if you don't take this high. It's way better if you don't take that high. It's way, way better if you just initiate, leave that high alone, walk back down into here, and pull up for another high, taking this and this at the same time. That's about all I can do with this here. Lab USDT. Lab USDT. Bro, wake up. Somebody buy Bitcoin a cup of coffee. Lab. Dash. Stop embarrassing me. Lab. USDT. Let's check it on the Bybits, man. Let's check it on the Bybits. So it wants its week high again, right? Like, I think we can see that without leaving this chart. But it's in an uber premium setting. It's in an uber premium setting. Yeah, like, you know, you clean this low. We all see it. This is the low that created this high. You just SFP'd that, placing your weakness back upon the high. Well, maybe not just SFP'd it. Looks like it was a while ago, over the weekend. We've left an order block here. We like this. So this is not a zone that should be bearishly lost prior to taking this high. Oh, we love this. Yeah, this is great. But dude, you can, like, what do you? No. There's nothing. There's nothing you can do with this thing. There's nothing you can do with this here. Nothing. Personal opinion. Absolutely not. No, you're in premium. You should be looking for shorts. It's an extreme premium right now. It's a terrible place to long in. Terrible. Yeah, I'd literally rather I'd rather short this high than do anything else. And I can't talk about longs until these regions. Period. Point blank. End of story. Sorry, bud. Can't really help you there. All right, well, fine, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to bore me to death again today, guys. I can tell you right now. It will bore me again. Bore me to death because I will never be convinced that I like that low. I won't. You can't convince me. Broke 1 minute structure bullishly. Nah. Don't know. Oh, there's no telling whether it will be an SFP up there. There's absolutely no telling, but let me put it this way. Your lower side sweep, time is it? I'm running out of time. Your lower side sweep after this implies that this is an order flow objective, right? It's a super aggressive approach. And what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is there's one relevant area, a moderately relevant area. This was relevant, but it's been hit already. There's a relevant area here, and there's a relevant area here. So you have limited choices, and this is the first one that is likely to be interacted with. So, you know, who knows what the fuck is going to happen up here. I just know that the chances of interacting with this before this or this or this is greater. Unless, are you thinking SFP here? Nah. I don't like the idea of it because this high's right here. If you're going to pull down here and then print a God candle, why not just take it right here? It's my opinions. That's my opinion, y'all. Hype. Talk to me again. Okay, yeah, you. Hey, bucko, you. Get your ass down there. Hype. So blew through idea number 1, tagged idea number 2, missed idea number 3. I don't like the structure coming off of 2. I don't like the structure coming off of number 2. CRWV. Let's take a look. Heard it was a crypto. Man. Any idea which one of these has the most history? Let's check OKX. Alright, I don't know if we have any more history on it than this, but I do know we have a lightning bolt here. which gives us a couple pieces of basic information. Bearish break or bullish break. All of this is demand. We get a strong low and a weak high. That looks great. Anyways. Okay. Part of me wanted to say we have done our initiation, we haven't done our mitigation prior to continuation, but I think that would be lying to you. I think that would be lying to you. I think this was your initiation, and this was your mitigation, and this is your continuation. So what does that mean? That means that low is pretty fucking important, isn't it? Oh, bro, you tagged the mother load right there. Oh, never mind. You missed it. You missed it. I got problems, man. There's not a long anywhere in the immediate future for me, but we're not talking about leverage trading this, so relax, bro. Relax. Okay, so here's my thing. I wouldn't want to give the money back to the market. Okay? I wouldn't want to give the money back to the market. You just formed a 1 hour? No. 90? No. 45? Yes. 30? Let's call it a 30 to 45 minute low right here. Right? And that low came out of your last piece of demand. And then that low brought you back up to your high. So, personal opinions, as usual, is I would allow for a deviation of this for return to its high, but I wouldn't allow for much more than that. I would have a conditional sell order in this region or this region, so that no matter what, if it came back on me, it would act as a take profit on my spot position, right? I would have a conditional sell, maybe two. Maybe a partial conditional sell here and another one here, protecting you from reaching back down into these regions, because you said you were in around the 104. That's clear down here, right? So, yeah, I'd have conditional sell orders in these areas. Maybe take out 25% here and the other 75% there, or maybe you take out 75 here and the other 25. I don't know how the hell you want to crack that nut, man, but I know that this is a pretty relevant piece of structure, and this one's an uber relevant piece of structure. Yeah, I would just look to protect the capital, man. Yeah, I'm running out of time, but so I can't promise the best on JPY, but we can definitely take a look at it. Whatever, just fucking search it. Pull them up, stick them out. Put your hands up, pull them up, stick them out. Forex, my dude, Forex. I had a chart on this somewhere, and I don't know where it is. There's a chart. So back in 2012. Okay, cool. It's in a very discounted setting. I think to understand this asset, you have to understand post-World War II history a little bit. I hate to be that guy, but you have to understand what Japan represents to the United States on a. I don't have time to explain it. I apologize, but I don't have time to explain it. It's a rabbit hole, man. I don't have time to explain it. The most logical place to look for trades on this is still below this low. You've interacted with major lows, right? Major lows, but you have not formed any manner of bullish structure. All price is internal to this and this still, and so your better information exists once you're not so internal. And if we drop down to the 15. What I do like is, bro, where is it? Give me the 1 hour. Give me the 4 hour. Give me the 6 hour. What the hell am I looking at? Here's what I do like. It's not the best looking piece of demand, but you had demand here. Obviously, this demand created a large inefficiency off of the chart, right? It's 4x, so, that's 13%. But this is the more exciting part on the chart for me is. This action right here, where you're just like failing to close below, failing to close below, failing to close below, breaking structure, back testing, new high. That stuff all looks pretty sexy, but like it's in premium relative to it's in a fairly premium setting right here. You've got remaining demand down here, but why would you need to mitigate that at this point? That doesn't make any sense. This likely does not lead to a higher high. The way that should function from a liquidity perspective for that area to lead to a higher high would be your initiation, mitigation, continuation. But you see, you didn't do that. You initiated, you mitigated, you continued here, you failed. So to come down to this zone, you're breaking structure. So, all that is to say this. Price currently remains in a bullish stance as long as 6331 holds. And, so it's far better to look for a trade either, out of your like discount of this range. Discount of this range down to the extreme discount of this range. Or initiate up out of here, come back in, give us something that makes more sense that we can use. But that's really all I can give you there, and we'll take a pop at whiff. And then I had no idea that it was this time already. I've got to hit the road after whiff, y'all. Chop chop, buttercup. I don't like the low. I will tell you this, I do like this low. I do like that low, and that low did exactly what it should have done. And that's been done. That has not been done. We have decent pullback going here. I pay close attention to what's going to happen with this 30-minute order block. Here's what I think. I think you're either going to pull this low, break this high, and maybe make a run up. Maybe make a run up to your weak high, right? Maybe. A lot of this information is going to depend on what Bitcoin decides to do over here. Okay. Like, did we just? You guys have to understand that there's a potential that any day now, any hour now, any minute now, that we print a significant top on Bitcoin. Okay. Now, if we don't, and I'm a big idiot, and I'm a big fat idiot face, and we just fucking continue to go up here, cool. But if we do, then I would expect some partial removal of liquidity here. For more lows. You know, something that draws in your buyers just to really start putting some pain on them. Like get them back down into this gap here. I mean, what are we on the 10? We're on a fucking 10-minute chart right now? Jesus H. Christ. Yeah, all of our good demand is down here. This is our best area. If this area doesn't hold, we're coming for this. So you gotta be careful up here, right? You don't have a good floor underneath you. Bullish structure on this. I mean, like, yeah, it could happen. It could happen. But like I said, your answer to that is likely on this chart or on the U.S. Tether dominance chart. Wherever the fuck that went. What's going to happen here, right? Ondo, what did I miss for you? Oh, it's not a crypto. What was it? CRWV? Okay, it's not a crypto, it's some core weave. It is in at the 104s, okay. Apparently you have asked about this before, Ondo. I can't imagine any reason I would have ever been on this chart otherwise. Here's the best information I've got for you here. It's pretty good actually. As we came up above this high, we can see that doesn't really that initially did not qualify as a break. It's all about what happened during the pullback that has me excited here. It's what appears to be failure and manipulation above the high. It might even be a local break in structure here. We'll take a look to form a sexy pants low right here. I think that does imply that you're coming up here. Now, obviously, we've got, something else that we need to address before that happens. And my conditional sell order on this would be down here. Down in like this region down here. So give that low a little bit of room to breathe. And this is hot pants right here. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I love it. Demand here. And everybody said we double topped and broke bearishly, right? So as you exceeded this high, you ranged because you impulsed, so therefore you will range. Set a high, set a low, swept the high, SFP'd it, looked to break the low. Everybody started selling here, boom. Super nice. And plenty of sexy demand underneath you still. I find this to be nice. Yeah, I find the fact that we launched and initiated out of this range to be nice. I find this fair value gap to be bullish. I love the fact that we also clipped this low. So between the sell side liquidity removals, the fair value gaps, and more sell side liquidity removals and more fair value gaps, I think this is destined for here. And quite honestly, probably here. That was a mouthful, y'all. Ironically, I did exactly what I told myself I was not going to do today, and I'm ashamed of myself for it. I knew coming in today that my brain was just going to be on fire and I was going to want to talk about so many things, but what I really needed to do today was breathe, relax my nervous system. Less is more, and I decided more is more today, so shame on me. I gotta go, guys.